Welcome to Tea and Dao, conversations from Sea Cloud Hall, where we share a pot of tea after class and explore how ancient Daoist wisdoms can help us live with greater calm, energy and spirit in the modern world today.
How did you first get into the Daoist arts?
I started when I was at university, and the kind of easy answer is that someone just took me to a class. But I kind of, if I think about it on reflection, I think I kind of always knew that there was something in Leeds for me, because I came up as a very young, student, and I was deciding what classes, what university to go to, and I was like, I have to be at Leeds for some reason. I didn't know why, and I kind of was searching for something, and there's when I found the classes, I was like, this really speaks to me, and this resonates with me, and I wasn't a sporty person, and I wasn't, I wasn't particularly looking, let's say, to do something physical. It was just, there was something about the Taoism part of it, the Daoist aspect of it, that always, it just kind of resonated with me. And then I started the class, and then since then I just loved it. Yeah.
Amazing. So that was the thing that was pulling you to Leeds. So that from the start.
In hindsight, that's what I can what I can see now. But at the time, it was just like a feeling.
It's like the feeling before you actually knew the thing, and you had to just.
Yeah, and I mean, it still astounds me, just because I was so young, but there was such a strong pull that, and I followed that energy.
Yes.
And in the classes we always talk about that, follow the energy.
Yes.
And I think when you're younger, it's easier, to be connected to that energy. And then over time, as responsibilities, whatever, and you sort of cut yourself off from that a bit. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So university, there's a lot that's pulling you in lots of different directions. So what kept you practicing? What kept you coming back to those classes with all those possibilities of a new city and everything?
I think it was the feeling that it gave me, and when I started, I was super shy and really not confident. I felt a bit awkward, but at the same time, I felt I never kind of fitted in with things. And especially sort of like what was being presented to me as kind of my options in life, they just didn't resonate with me. Coming from a sort of traditional Chinese family, it was like, you go into these professions, you become a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, and you study hard, and it was all sort of set out, but it just didn't really kind of float my boat. But then I just kind of found like a group of people who were on the same wavelength, and it's a weird thing, because it's like in the classes, I mean, you'll understand this, it's like you're not like talking to them in depth about anything, but because you're training in the classes, there's a connection with people.
Yes.
There's quite a deep connection,
yes.
Even though you're not sort of matey and I mean, obviously there's groups of people that you go through the arts with that you're friends with, but the other thing that I always really liked was that it was kind of intergenerational. So I was in a very small world as a student. And it was just students.
Yes.
Just getting on the bus and coming out of Studentsville to somewhere else to train was a big deal for me.
Yes.
But then, I'd meet people who were older, different backgrounds. I was very, very much kind of from a very cosseted middle class background, and there would be, working class people, builders, there'd be, middle class people, just a whole range and gamut of different people that I loved as well, who were kind of on the same path, but there was something that tied us all together. And then the feelings in the class, the exercises, getting ownership of my body and my energies, which was like, really empowering for me. And also I loved in Taoism, how they talk about that yin energy, that power of the softness, and how they kind of promote feminine qualities as being a source of strength.
Yes.
And that really resonated with me. I think I went travelling before I went to university, and I read the Tao of Pooh, and loads of people have said that to me, and there was something in there that I really loved as well.
Okay.
And that first sort of piqued my interest in terms of Taoism, because I hadn't really heard of it before. But yeah, many things, I suppose.
Yeah, amazing. No, I do resonate with that. It's that when you come to the class, I like what you said there about it's not that you're standing around and you're chatting, and it's like there's this, you've both got that thing in common where you're training and you're working together
on something,
but on yourself, and it's it's unique in that way.
Yeah,
I really like that. That's cool.
It's kind of like Lab says. It's a space.
Yeah.
And it's like a classroom, but it's like a laboratory. And you're working, experimenting, but then it's like a gym because you're sweating hard, and and it's multifaceted.
It's got its own language.
Yes.
It's got its very own. It's like tacit. It's a bit like playing music with people, and you can't really say on stage what's going to happen, but you have to tap into something.
Because it's structured, but then it's not, and because a lot of what we deal with it's yin and yang, so there's the structure of what we do, the physicality of what we do, the exercises, but we're working with something which is essentially ethereal as well, where it takes you in.
Absolutely. So with that, what do you think are the benefits of yin and yang arts? So you were saying there about the yin arts. What do you think are the benefits of that?
Yeah, well, when I first started, I really was only interested, I thought, the softer arts, the yin arts was kind of what I wanted to do. And then there was the yang arts as well, which is sort of like the soft kung fu, the more dynamic, the faster kind of aspect of it. But I was a bit afraid of it. I was like, I don't want to hurt anyone, I don't want to fight. And, I was seeing it with like a kind of uneducated, maybe Western eyes, where I'm thinking of fighting. But it's very much not that. And it's very much part of the same system. It's like the other side of the coin. So, and sometimes people think, actually, I need to do the yin, which is sort of slower, and it's like the Tai Chi, it's like the Qigong, so the moving meditation, and it's more nourishing and cultivating, and it is all of that, and that is wonderful. But actually, sometimes when I do the yang arts, it gives me something that I actually really needed as well, and I didn't realise I needed that. And actually, that is energizing, and it's stimulating, and it balances out the yin. And so, the both of them are equally valid, and there's not one that's better than the other, but you've got to experience both.
Yes.
And sometimes you think so like someone might come and they're quite soft and yin in nature, and they think that's what they need more of, but actually to balance it they need a little bit more gin up and doing the yang arts. And equally someone who's fast and they're quite they need a little bit of calming, but you don't really know that, but they'll be attracted to that way of being because they're that way of being. And the same with someone who's a bit yin. But we have a complete system which is absolutely amazing. And we're not pulling different bits from other systems. It's all within what we do. So we have the Tai Chi, the kind of cultivation arts. We've also got breath work like the Dao Yin. We have calmness, which is a beautiful art, and it's we call it Dao Yoga as something for people initially to understand. And then we've got also the yang arts. We have implements. So the yang arts are like the soft kung fu, and there's sort of leg work, and it's faster, and learning how to move in a much more dynamic way, and it's very exciting. And you know, it gets my spirit going. I feel alive after doing it. Yeah. And then you've got implements as well. So we work with staffs and swords and many implements, silks as well, lots of different implements. And we've also got like Changming, something called Changming, which is dietary advice, lifestyle guidelines, and we've got massage as well. So there's a ton to go at.
The whole world.
It is a whole world.
It's a whole realm.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So people might think, I thought I'm coming in and I want to do a bit of Tai Chi.
Yeah.
You know, and because that's all I knew. That was my kind of like, and then I get my mind opened, and it's like, well, there's a whole world, like you say.
Yeah. Why do you think people have that initial thought of that Tai Chi? Why do you think people misunderstand it?
I think they think it's soft and it's gentle, and they want to do something maybe that's not like a traditional Western sport. You know, maybe they don't want to do like a team sport, like kind of football, or I don't know, netball at school or whatever. And so the Tai Chi is something that is well publicised from China to the West, and people kind of know that as a hook. And so I think, and the movements are very, very graceful and elegant, and so a lot of people have said to me, I've seen it online, and there's something about it that I really like.
I remember telling one of my friends I started going to Tai Chi, and she said, "Oh, like the old people in the park."
Yes, that's the common misconception. That's absolutely, because in the West, because it's gentle, you know, it's good for old people, and it is. There's, when I say old people, I mean just sort of people who have problems with their joints and their balance. But you know, it's in China, it's something that people start when they're young, and they continue it, and for me, it's been a companion in my life from when I was a student, and it's something that's like almost like a rock, like that I can go back to. It's like a compass for me. And then if things go up and down in my life, this is the thing that sort of holds me steady. And because with the arts as well, it's not just physical movements. It's learning how to live in a way that's more natural, and applying Daoist principles and theory into your life so that you can create harmony and balance. And they're nice trigger words, but it's like, how do you actually do that so that your life gets better, you know, and you have more energy and more ability to sort of direct yourself in a way where you want to go. So so it has benefits from older people, yes, but I mean, why wait? Why wait?
Absolutely, yeah. And something you just said there as well, about how it energizes you. I remember when I used to think I was too tired maybe to come to class, which is what I found from when I eventually did start just coming anyway. It's like, oh, I can make more when I'm here.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I remember one of my first teachers saying to me, you know, just get your coat on and just get to class, and because your brain is like, for humans, it's like the thing that's developed us, but it's also like our biggest enemy, you know, in terms of sort of like just the kind of things you tell yourself.
Nonsense.
The nonsense that it chatters, you know, the monkey mind. And so it's sort of like, if you can get over that, and like you say, often it's like, oh, I remember when I was working, I'd be, you know, I'd do a morning class, I'd work during the day, and then the evening class I'd be like, oh, I'm so tired. But once I got there, and it's something happened, and I always 100% would leave the room, and I'd be like,
so much better than when I came. Never regret coming to a class. Never. Absolutely. What would you say surprised you when you first started training? Is there anything that surprised you?
Loads of things.
Probably covers me with those things.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm often in awe about loads of things, and I love the fact that can happen. I think what surprised me was how easily we have exercises in the class, and they're able to get someone who's never done anything before in touch with their energy straight away, and you can feel the difference and the benefits if you start using your energy. And it's like from day one, the first class, and it's not like, oh, it's something that'll come after 3 months, So on day one, I felt my energy, and that was like, wow. But then also the group was really like welcoming and so lovely, and just the vibe of everyone in the community was so lovely. Because when you're starting something, you can be a bit like, I wasn't very confident, and and I wasn't sure of myself, and like you say, all that rubbish you tell yourself, and that being in an environment that's so welcoming is really lovely. But yeah, feeling my energy straight away, and also just my teacher Lauber, Desmond Murray, watching him train and do these like seemingly like impossible things, and like my eyes are watching it, and it's like my brain can't understand what's going on. But like and then if I feel it, it's like that kind of like just contradiction in my body, and it's like what's going on, and that I just was like, come on, I want more of that. I want to know how I can do that. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, the mystery that being pulled. It's like that thing you said when you first came to Leeds. That thing that pulled you. That's the thing that keeps the training exciting, I suppose, and full of surprises. Full of surprises.
I mean, when I saw him, because when I started classes at the uni, and then I started classes in the main centre, which wasn't Sea Cloud Hall at the time, but then when I saw him for the first couple of times, I kind of knew that this guy was special. There was just something about his energy. He didn't actually say very much, but it's funny because like you were talking about with music, and if you key into someone's energy, it can speak to you, and you don't have to have the words, but it's the feeling, and if you allow your energy to talk to you, Lauber says the energy's been around for forever, and so there's knowledge in that energy, and if you can key into that, it speaks to you.
It rings bells.
It rings a bell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I can resonate with that, definitely. Yeah. So tell me about Sea Cloud Hall. This is where we are right now.
I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It
is like a miracle. I do have to keep like slapping myself in the face, because it's like, so for years, for decades, we have been renting halls and scout huts and using properties that haven't been ours, and then we managed by just a miracle and working with Dao. It's just that we've got this place that is in Leeds, in the centre of Leeds, in Kirkstall. And so it's in the hubbub of everything, but then you go through the gate, and then it's like this little oasis, and you have Kirkstall Valley, you have the Aire River, and then we're just getting started in this place. So we got it just over a year ago, and it's beautiful, but we're putting our energies into it, and it's growing and it's developing, and it's going to be, the plans we've got are so exciting, so amazing, and it's going to be just absolute heaven on earth. It is. I mean, you feel it as well, because it's like what we do as an art is something ancient that's in a modern setting, and this place is like just a little pause in the craziness of outside. Absolutely. And you come in, and then there's this little bubble.
makes me think every time I come through the gates and I walk in, it's just like I've entered.
You've entered,
this
yeah.
place. It's so different.
It is. It's
special. It's really special.
It is, and you know, we've got plans that it'll be, and the community. I mean, everything that we've done, we've just sort of pulled together. We bought the place through the community, and you know, all the work that we're doing is with everyone's sort of love and energy. So
And like you said, that's across so many generations as well of people within the community that are all working together all the time.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? It's really
amazing.
Yeah,
like this blossom here because people have worked together for that to come together. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's amazing.
This little this is the emblem of the Lee family. So that's there. Someone's made that for us.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's gorgeous.
That's stunning. Okay. I feel like we've covered quite a lot.
That's cool. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share?
No, this is the first time we've done this. If hopefully, some people will get something from it. Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
That was Ti and Dao, Conversations from Sea Cloud Hall. Until next time, keep training.